what is going on enough in these to start documenting and start coming up with processes as kind of I don't even know if you'd say the average business, but say that businesses they're progressively using AI. Have we kind of figured this out? And then is the progression of the technology slowed enough to where the documentation would be relevant in the next 3 to 6 months? Or is it just a waste of time at this point and we need to wait for things to settle?
I think right now it's moving way too fast, but at the same time, you can't just not deal with it, right? Because your team is using these tools. So if you don't do anything, it's just going to get worse, unfortunately. So you start putting in, like practices in place, like, okay, if you use this tool, make a reusable skill out of it. If you make a reusable skill out of it, make sure you run this prompt and document it. So if you just put in some basic practices for like, this is how you should use AI today, you at least have things looking more similar so that as people come and go, you have the resources there, you have the libraries, you have the prompts, you have all the stuff that they've built, and you're not starting from scratch every time. Whereas if you don't have that, then people will do what they want.
Yeah. And I think there's training that happens within that, like natural, how do you encourage team members to think differently about these things? And what I started thinking through, because I do think you're right, is even if we produce these SOPs or processes and start mapping this, documenting it, whatever it may be, at least you will have gotten employees to start being system thinkers instead of task-oriented thinkers. I do this task, if I do this task, check it off. Now I have to think of all the tasks, not just as a project manager, but at a systems level. And that's a humongous change.